From the Center for Agricultural Profitability at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is Nebraska Farmcast. I'm Ryan Evans. The Nebraska Entrepreneurial TaskForce, or NetForce, is hosting its 6th annual Nebraska Entrepreneurship Best Practices Summit on Tuesday, November 7th at the Bosselman Conference Center at Fonner Park in Grand Island. The one-day event will focus on strategies for building local and regional entrepreneurial ecosystems. To hear more about it, I am here with Molly Brandt, Innovation and Entrepreneurship 4-H educator with Nebraska Extension. Hi, Molly. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ryan.
Sure. So could you just first give listeners a brief overview of what the Nebraska Entrepreneurship Best Practices Summit is and what it aims to achieve?
Yeah, so we're very excited for our summit next Tuesday. And so this year, our theme is growing the entrepreneurial mindset. And so with 4-H and just big picture thinking of entrepreneurship, sometimes with entrepreneurship, we think of just starting a business, but realizing it's so much more. And so we're excited that that's our theme for this year. And like you said, it's a great one-day event that's going to bring in different stakeholders, partners, people who are interested in entrepreneurship and look at it at many different angles. And so we hope that others are able to join us next Tuesday for that.
Great. And it is being put on by NetForce, the Nebraska Entrepreneurial TaskForce. So can you talk about that group's makeup and mission?
Yeah, so I've really enjoyed being part of this group. So NetForce was started in early 2000. So we've been operating for about 20 years, and it's a very diverse group of different stakeholders and partners across the state. There's quite a few individuals from the university and Nebraska Extension with our local community colleges, Doane universities, and also just private stakeholders and partners, who are interested in the mission. And so we meet quarterly, explore different areas of Nebraska, kind of see what entrepreneurship looks like in different communities. And then this summit that we have annually is kind of a way for us to all get together in a different location, invite partners. Last year, I presented and attended for my first time and really enjoyed being part of this community.
So as someone who's deeply involved in entrepreneurship and innovation through your work with Nebraska Extension and 4-H, what kind of role do you see the summit playing in fostering a thriving entrepreneurial culture, especially among the youth in Nebraska, because they are invited to this summit as well as adults?
Yeah, so I think one of the value of this conference is that we do have a very diverse group of attendees. And so we see a lot of those high school FBLA students from the area attend this event. And so, they are involved doing local competitions or in their local areas. And then when they're here, they're sharing some of those ideas with, our professors, stakeholders, entrepreneurs themselves. And so I think going back to that theme of growing the entrepreneurial mindset, if we're not starting with the youth, that's really where we can plant the seed and start sharing these opportunities of, what opportunities might exist at a community college, at the university, or even in their local communities. Sometimes, you don't hear about those local entrepreneurs who are doing cool things and are really ready and wanting to support those local people and young people that have those good ideas.
And the summit promises to cover a range of topics from quote unquote short and scrappy creative ideas all the way to venture capital opportunities. So how do these diverse sessions contribute to the overall goal?
Yeah, so there's really something for everyone at the conference. And so we try new ideas, bring in new speakers every year. And if you check out our agenda, you'll see that we have different breakout sessions. And so then you can see which one might pertain most to you. And so, if you look at it from the education standpoint, which is usually what, my lens is, you can find those presenters or those topic areas that are interesting. And so, yeah, depending on where you are at, or even if you're someone who thinks they're not an entrepreneur, just the connections that you can make with that community is really valuable.
And you mentioned the variety of speakers at the summit. Two of those are Governor Jim Pillen and Dr. Tom Field, who is a professor in UNL's Animal Science Department and the director of Nebraska's Angler Agribusiness Entrepreneurship Program. So what unique perspectives or insights do you believe that they'll bring to the attendees at the summit?
Yeah, so we're very excited to have all of our speakers, especially those two. And so I know Governor Pillen is talking about his new venture business competition. And so we're excited to hear about that, more ways for young people to get involved in entrepreneurship and see some of those resources that are available and support that exist, to really build that up. And Dr. Tom Field has been, well known here at the university for all of his efforts with the college students here, but then also working with those young people out in the communities. And so I think both of those speakers will do a great job just getting people inspired and excited about entrepreneurship. And I think this conference really does a good job of bringing that passion, or just as you connect and network, throwing those ideas around with another person and seeing how you can do your work better or look at it from a different angle.
Great. And NetForceNebraska.org is the website to find out more about the summit. Is there a registration deadline or anything that people need to be aware of, or anything else to keep in mind if they're interested in getting involved with the event?
Yeah, so if you go to that website, register as soon as possible. The conference is less than a week away, but we would love to have anyone who would like to attend and learn more. They can check out the agenda and see some of those diverse speakers we have. And we hope anyone will join us.
Great. And we'll include that link in the notes for this podcast. Again, NetForceNebraska.org is the place to go for more on the 6th annual Nebraska Entrepreneurship Best Practices Summit. That's coming right up on November 7th in Grand Island. I've been speaking with Molly Brandt, a 4-H extension educator for innovation and entrepreneurship here at UNL. Molly, thanks so much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan.
Nebraska Farmcast is a production of the Center for Agricultural Profitability at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. For the latest research-based information and education resources to manage your farm or ranch operation, visit our website at cap.unl.edu. That's cap.unl.edu.